Okay, this is my second draft. Online Besiege Scars, so I'm taking the Tezzeret here. And I'm passing Blight Widow. So I gotta keep that in mind. I'm doing the narration a day later. I don't like to talk as I draft. The Vidalcan Anatomist is probably the next best pick here. The other cards are really unplayable. Not really unplayable, but not second pick worthy. I like Leon and Skyhunter, but it's terrible with Tezzeret. You don't want to splash black and blue with Tezzeret. When you open a bomb like Tezzeret, you kind of want to get the deck going. Now I need a lot of artifacts, but I can pick a lot of artifacts up in the Scars packs because there's just more artifacts in that set. And definitely more useful artifacts that combo with Tezzeret. The two best common uncommon artifacts with Tezzeret are probably the Plague Mirror and the Inkwell. The card that draws you a card, if it comes into play or goes to the graveyard, it costs 2. This is kind of a slim pickings pack. Oculus, Virulent Wound, and Drawstripper are all cards that you can consider for what I'm trying to do. I just don't like Titan Forge. Even with this would probably be the best possible deck for Titan Forge, and I still don't really like it. Just because I'd have the Proliferate available. Flare Husk's pretty good with Tezzeret, and just a good card to have in this. What I'm doing here. Plague Mirror. But Into the Core, that's a really late Into the Core, and it's a great sign that red is open. That's a card that you would first pick, Into the Core, right? It also has the Plague Mirror, though, which is really good with the Tezzeret. I think, though, being able to just take the Into the Core, and maybe if red keeps going, play either black red or blue red, splashing the other for Tezzeret. I think Skinwing's probably better than Psychosis Crawler. And it sucks because the Phyrexian Rager's there as well as the Wellspring, and I definitely should take the Wellspring, but what I end up taking is the Rager, and that's my first of many mistakes in this 8-4. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking that, that the Rager draws me a card and it's a creature as well, but having that extra artifact would have really helped. Rusted Slash is the best. My deck's pretty defensive. I'm going to be drawing most of the time. It makes Carapace worse. Like if you're on the play, I feel like you take the Copper Carapace. If you're on the draw, you should probably stay away from it. Like that's a really late Leon and Skyhunter. And the rest of the cards are pretty terrible. Possibilities are I guess I could take the Cadatha, whatever his name is. 4/4 has to attack every turn for 5. Meh. Or I could just take a counterspell, which is what I do. Hide the Into the Core because I really don't think I'm going to end up playing red. Alright, since I don't think I'm going to play red, I take the 5/7 as a finisher. I'm not the only one in the world that would make that play. I should probably be taking this guy, the Sentinel, now. I don't know why I take Turn the Tide. Never going to play Turn the Tide, and there's situations that you'd play the Sentinel. I guess my 4-drop slot was so terrible already, like there's so many in the 4-drop slot that I just took the situational 2-drop instead. It'd be good against Infect, I guess. It's a Fog in black-blue. Yeah, so the options here is Darksteel Drake, Perilous Mirror, or the Cerebral Eruption if I want to go back to this idea of maybe playing blue. The only black cards I have are Tezzeret and the Rager, which really upsetting that Rager should be an 2-drop artifact. But the Dross Ripper, sure, it pumps for black mana, but it doesn't necessarily need to be black. And then I would have 2 red bombs if I take the Eruption. Sure, the Drake is good, but it's not like Wrath Your Board good. Wrath Your Board good is fantastic. So now it's time to start looking. I'll take the Drake, because I'm probably going to be playing now blue-red splashing black. And then I get this Scudder, and I think, oh, maybe I won't play red, maybe I'll grab the Scudder and maybe it'll be more consistent. But I don't end up playing that either. I get that 4th pick Scrap Melter, and things become really clear at this point that I'll be playing blue-red, splashing black for Tezzeret. Well, I could take either Soliton or Skyel School, but I think Skyel School is just way more consistent. I'm pretty happy with the way my deck's turning out at this point, even though it's kind of conflicted in its colors. It's all 3 colors have pretty good synergy in this format. I think Rustic's pretty good. I could take the Funeral Celebration in hopes of getting something going, but Rustic's an artifact, which I don't have that many of at this point, and the more artifacts you have, the better Tezzeret is. And plus it's pseudo removal, so that's a good thing. And it's a dude. I don't think I have to really defend Rustic. People pretty much know where he stands at this point. This is interesting. I could take the Spell Bomb, or I could take the switch to the power and toughness. Spell Bomb's just better. It's an artifact. There's nothing really for me here, so I cut the most aggressive card that's playable. I could take the... I just really don't like that Necrogen Sensor. People like that card, but it's not for me. If there's any deck I'm going to play it in, it's this deck, but it's not even going to make the cut in this deck. I'd rather just hate some aggressive creature. Yep, so I got a Wrath, I got a Planeswalker, I got Into the Core, that could be a second Wrath even. Scrap Melter's removal. The only thing I'm really missing is like a Galvanic Blast or something like that, or like that Instill Infection, but I think Memnite might be better here. Knowing that I get a second Memnite, I probably should have taken that Instill Infection. But then I'm not too sure if I'm going to end up playing, how much black I'm going to play, so it's tough. Killed off the Rebirth. I probably would have played it if I grabbed that artifact instead of the Phyrexian Rager, but I can put counters on my Planeswalker with steady progress. It's probably not going to happen. That's probably a bad idea. Might as well hide that. Take the Serpent. Serpent's a good finisher. I read an article about from Steve Sadin on the Magic the Gathering Mothership site, and he said you're guaranteed to get that Scrap Diver Serpent pretty late. So I listened to him, and it pays out. But I'm probably not going to play it. I don't have ramp, really. I love Precursor Golem. I mean, I could take a Shatter here, but I'd rather just take a Precursor Golem. Precursor Golem, solid. That's a solid 5-drop. So that Slice and Twain is an Ancestral Recall against my Scrap Divers, or against my Precursor Golem, but I really do need the ramp, especially a black ramp card like a Leadenmere. Great for what I'm trying to do here. I don't end up playing the Kudatha Rebirth and the Serpent and the and that's it. I play everything else here, I think. I end up taking the Horizon Spellbomb here. I mean, other options were Disperse or Strider Harness, maybe. That Spellbomb becomes a 5/5, or it helps me get that one swamp in my deck. I end up only playing one swamp because of that Horizon Spellbomb, and of course because of the next Horizon Spellbomb. It's about to show up. But not before the Galvanic Blast. This is nice. This is a nice surprise. Red was definitely open. It was, definitely the right decision to move into red. I could have had a pretty aggressive red-white deck with all of these 2/2s flying around. I end up grabbing a 2/2 that costs the same amount but doesn't give me 2 life. Whatever. That's the second Horizon Spellbomb that I've been telling you about. I kind of think that maybe I should be taking the Trigon here. It would be the first time I ever played this Trigon, but if I had it at the end when I was deck building, I probably would have ran it anyway. It's not great, but it definitely stalls, which is something I want to be able to do, and I can always make it a 5/5. My options here are Soliton or an Instill Infection or a Quarter Shield. Instill Infection, I mean, I don't end up playing it either, but... So the Equipment or Hate Draft Untamed Might. Equipment or Counter Target Artifact Spell. You know what, I just picked the Equipment because at this point it'll help me stall, and I really want that Moriok Griever. Because I do like him a lot, actually, especially in this deck, but a 1/4 might be way more useful considering I have no 2-drops. I take the Censor here. I mean, I don't really want that Equipment. That Equipment's good against me, but it's almost unplayable in my deck. In fact, it probably is unplayable in this deck. If you're playing like green-red, it's good. Like, I never really know when to play that Strider Harness, because you don't want to be tied down with mana, and it's not aggressive enough in green-red, but it's too aggressive in like blue-red. I don't really know when it's good. Maybe green-white. Okay, that's it for my draft. I'll be back for game 1. Thanks.